I'm just gonna jump over here. There we go. And good enough. So before anything, I'd like to thank you all for your service. Really thank you for everything you do. Anyways, hello, I'm Jonathan Gardner. I am a 21-year-old who lives in East Bridgewater. I am an advocate and survivor who happens to have autism, with a vision of helping others in any way I can. I have learned from a very young age how to turn a traumatic experience into a positive difference. Police training is important to me because I believe that everyone deserves the right supports in their lives, including all interactions with the police in our community. As a person who happens to have a disability, I know firsthand about the need for understanding and education. I believe everyone should be supported as a human being, and together we can do this with understanding and education. Too many people are being hurt and or killed due to a lack of training and understanding. This is not okay and goes against my vision. This past March, there was a tragic incident. Ryan Gaynor was a 15-year-old teenager of color who happened to have autism. Ryan was fatally shot while holding a gardening tool when he was upset. From what I have read about Ryan, he was upset because his mom and dad wanted him to finish all of his chores before he played his video games or listened to music on his computer. When demands are put on me, I need time to process them if I had something else on my mind at the time. It makes me think that if there were proper training, Ryan would still be here. He may have just needed some time to process what the task was asked of him, and maybe even if he had a visual of doing his chores first and then playing his video games and music, he would know what was coming next and what to expect. Not knowing and feeling overwhelmed can cause a lot of deregulation for someone like myself. When emotions become too overwhelming, they can lead to behaviors such as self-injury, throwing things, hurting others, running away, etc. I believe behaviors are a form of communication, so please think about that when you interact with individuals that may be overwhelmed. This could save a life. We are all learners and teachers. As an individual who happens to have autism, there is no one better than someone with lived experience like myself and other self-advocates that happen to have disabilities and families of loved ones with disabilities to provide information to existing law enforcement officers and correction officers in noticing the signs of autism and IDD and how to appropriately interact with these individuals. With lived experience, we can offer solid examples with multiple perspectives, cultures, and histories. We can share our experience and demonstrate how positive changes in interactions can lessen negative stereotypes. This will ensure the safety of everyone and be truly welcoming. Today I speak in front of all of you, but sometimes I cannot speak because my disability stops me from communicating in certain situations. When I was younger and I was out with my mentor, he parked his car in front of his dorm and told me he will be right back. I was sitting in the car when a policeman tapped on my window. Well, on the window, I should say. Thankfully, I had a plan for when this would happen. I remember being nervous. I pulled out of my wallet, and gave the policeman my ID that my mom made for me. On the ID was a picture of me with my name, age, and a sentence that said, "I'm not being rude, I have autism, I shut down, and cannot speak when I do not know someone or there's an unexpected situation. Please call my mom and or dad with any concerns or questions." The policeman was nice and told me no problem, but to tell my mentor not to park in front of the dorm anymore. This was a positive experience and made it easier for me to use my card in other situations when I needed it. This year in Massachusetts, we've seen a heartbreaking number of drownings involving kids with autism who wander off. Wandering, also known as elopement, is really common for people like myself who happen to have autism. Sadly, too often when a child with autism wanders, it can end in tragedy because first responders aren't trained to immediately search nearby waters, pools, or ponds. Kids with autism are often drawn to water, which is why it's so important for officers and first responders to know this. I believe proper training could have saved many of these lives. If police and first responders understood autism better, they could respond faster and know to look for water right away. A quick response like this could stop these tragedies from happening. That's why we need police training in Massachusetts to make sure something this preventable doesn't keep happening. There is something we can all do about this. There are currently two important laws to make interactions between police and people who happen to have autism better. These laws didn't get voted on before July 31st, but there's still a chance they can be passed soon. Right now, there's laws are being looked at in front of informal session, and they have a lot of support. We need everyone's help to make sure that government votes on them in the next few months. Here's these laws all about. The Blue Envelope Program. This law would help police and drivers with autism communicate better. Autistic drivers can get a blue envelope to keep in their car. The envelope will have their license, registration, plus information about their autism and how they communicate best. The blue envelope is already being used by some police officers, but this law will make sure all police officers in Massachusetts know about it and use it the right way. Autism police training. This law will make sure police officers get the training on how to work and communicate with people who have autism or other disabilities. This training would help them understand how to use the blue envelope and communicate better with autistic people. Some people already know about the blue envelope, but this law would make sure all police get the same training. These laws can help keep people with autism safer. We need your help to contact lawmakers and ask them to pass these laws soon. The ANCA Massachusetts has set up an action alert, which you can find on the flyer, aka the QR code, and you can contact your legislator to make a difference. I feel privileged that my encounters with the police have been positive so far, but I know they could have gone badly, and that is why it is so important to inform others how to safely and respectfully have interactions with people who may happen to have autism or IDD. This way, this way more people will be comfortable interacting with police, and police can be seen as a positive force for everyone in the community. Thank you.